7. Is that a hickey? Yeah. I'm full of them. Because I'm so hot. And, oh shit. Pookie. Stank. I heard you were mentally ill. Ew, cringe. But, what if I told you could go into remission for your mental health forever? Impossible. My antidepressants didn't work. The ECT didn't work. The DBT only worked periodically. Then I met with all these kinds of types of people my whole life, and I'm so traumatized. And I wouldn't suggest it unless I had the answer. I have a guide that is gonna be the key to remission or your greatest crutch against healing your mental illness. What? And it makes the most sense. You don't need any money. You don't need resources for therapy and the ECT and the ketamine trials and psychedelics. Ooh, psychedelics. The way to heal your psychotic symptoms is just to go and do some DMT and ayahuasca in the fields of Mexico. No. One that speaks to every person, regardless of race, social status, religion. I'm not gonna be like, you just need to have faith in the right God and this and this, and you need to pray to your ancestors and this and this. You could do that, but your faith. Sorry, I just came out the shower. Ew! Not another bitch with a whiteboard. It's me, the bitch with the whiteboard. Previously. Oh my god, the lighting. Shit, I can't stand here. Is that chill? I don't know how to do camera stuff. Like, can someone do this for me? This isn't very feminine of me. This isn't very divine feminine of me. The divine feminine should be squatting, giving someone a waffle stomp. Shh. Hush. Shh. It's okay. This isn't you. This isn't you. Look at me. Look at me. So mental illness, previously, in the world of psychiatry, we know it to be biological and environmental. Of course, it's caused by stress, but they tell you that it's because of genetics and your brain is deficient in serotonin, deficient in dopamine, deficient in this. But you're kind of left with okay, so I'm stuck like this forever because of something that is inherent and it's a condition, it's an illness that I have forever. No. What is mental illness? Prolonged mood states caused by sensations or bodily responses, moods, feelings, and your internalization. So I'm a kid with a big imagination, right? Me and my sister both go tutoring. And I am a super emotional kid. Very sensitive, perfectionist, internalized everything. But my sister has a good self-esteem, or somewhat good self-esteem, Doesn't take things personally, doesn't internalize things. So we both go to tutoring, and the stresses get to me. That stress or feeling and my thought and internalization, which is I have to be perfect, I'm not good enough, cause me to have a self-concept which is very detrimental. And I associate work with an inability to do, with stress, the environment of a school with fear, with a I can't do, I can't manage, I can't control. And what does that turn out to be? ADHD. So it doesn't matter the abnormal circumstance that caused the mood so much as the internalized interpretation or belief. With trauma, right? How come two people can experience the same thing, but one person walks out somewhat unaffected and resilient? It's because one person believes and interprets it as all their fault. One person interprets it as something that is inherently wrong with them. They are the cause. They are shameful and they are a bad person. They are they can't control. They are harmful. They are the cause of everyone's suffering, right? This is where we have things like BPD and CPTSD, right? Belief, programming in your brain, right? Pattern recognition. This is why you keep finding the same kinds of people's environment to prove and to maintain this mood, this state. This is why you keep finding yourself in the same situations, in the same cycles, in the same patterns, because you're just running the programming. Okay? You're just going by what you know. This is why when people tell you, if you're depressed, hit the gym. Hit the gym, hit the gym. Journal, fart, shit, read every day. Gratitude. Oh my God, why are you so depressed? Like, just force yourself to be grateful. Oh, have faith, have courage, be happy. And you're trying, right? But it doesn't stick. You try for maybe a couple of days. Sure, it works, but you're still stuck with this feeling that will come back as soon as those external circumstances and motivators drop, right? I know a lot of people that hit the gym and they become very healthy in the body, but messy inside. No shade, me too. But here's what to do. Here's what to do about it. We have to stop looking at mental illness as something that is inherent. Okay, you can go in remission. I've done this. I'm talking from lived experience. Okay? When I heard like psychologists and doctors and stuff without lived experience, I'm like, you don't know me. Like, you don't know how hard it is. And yeah, no one can dictate that for you. No one can, you can't prove that to a psychiatrist that has a completely different life from you. Only you can, and this is the key. This is the key. Buddy is talking like she knows all the answers. It's because I do. One. This is honestly it, in my opinion. According to my calculations, whatever mood state you're in, and I tried this week, from a horrible depressive episode, right? And then I felt it trying to swing back up into the crazy side, into the no sleep, no eating, I can do everything, I am consciousness and this, and I was able to regulate. No medication, no therapy, no hotline, nothing, from the comfort of your own home, anywhere that you are. Anywhere. This applies to fucking anything. Any condition. Okay, even the perceptual difference disturbances one. Do nothing. What the hell? But I have so much pressure, and I'm thinking about the world, and I'm thinking about social justice, and I'm thinking about climate change, and I'm thinking about the pressures of my parents and how I failed them, and I'm thinking about culture, and I'm thinking about how I've lost connection to myself, and I'm thinking about spirituality and identity and divinity, and why can't I get out of bed? Why can't I get out of bed? Why can't I shower? Why can't I move right now? I'm so hungry, but I can't move. I'm sick and tired, but I'm afraid. I'm this. We've heard it all before. And honestly, I say this with so much compassion. You don't deserve this. You honestly deserve to do nothing. Logically, a person with lived experience of mental illness knows all the things that they could and should and would do if they had the powers to. Right? I would go to therapy, but I could, or I just need to go for a 5K run, or I just need to join a run club, I just need to journal, I just need to... No, you don't. You don't need to do anything. Your life is going to mean you are at risk. And honestly, this doesn't matter if you are slumped in bed and the last thing you had to eat was some sleep and some water for the last 5 days. Or you're very high functioning and you felt like this itching, aching feeling for 50 years, but you suppressed it so much. It doesn't matter where you are in your mental health or life journey, whatever it is, you have to do nothing. Therapy targets this. Therapy targets this, mental processing and identity, right? But for a treatment-resistant depression or mood disorder or personality disorder, you're always going to come back to the same cycles, and you're going to have to repeat the DBT, and you're going to have to repeat, well, this is this, and, you know, we're going to try new routes, clinical trials, but you're never going to shake that inner self-concept of I'm a B, C, D, E, F, G. Gym, rebuilding the body, works, but as soon as there's a trigger or something, you're back at square one. You're back at those beliefs and those triggers. You know? Anyways. Number one, do nothing. You have to turn off all your distractions. You have to release any and all expectations of the future and the past. You are at risk and you deserve to feel whole again. You deserve to have this sickness out of your life. You deserve to heal. You deserve to be free and self-actualize. Okay? In your life, can't do that unless you give yourself the reward of just being free to not think. You can't regulate your emotions until you control your thoughts and do all this. But it's far easier to control your thoughts through this than work top down, which is controlling your thoughts and then your body. Okay? Just, you know, sit and feel. Let it dissipate. So, if I asked you right now, what do you feel? You would probably say something like, I feel hopeless. I feel ashamed. I feel like no one will ever love me. I feel like I'm want to have ideation. I feel suicidal, right? And we have all these terms, and I know the mood, but and you know, and this is where you start to do your therapy and you start to break it down and analyze. I'm not asking that. I truly mean do nothing. You have to drop your thoughts and drop the interpretation. You can't interpret what's going on right now. This is true for perceptual disturbances as well. if you start to see HPPD, if you start to see that everything's going fuzzy, things are moving, you have to do nothing. You cannot interpret what is going on right now, because you will start to feel fear. You will start to feel anxiety. Even looking at a schedule, right? You're going to interpret, but you can't. You have to close your eyes, wherever you are. It doesn't matter if you're in an office building, whatever it is. Sit and feel and let it dissipate. I'm going to be going through the different conditions and what this actually looks like, right? And then if you're so disconnected from your body, which you most likely are, because that's usually the source of illness, self-suppression. So shutting down, not feeling whole, all that. What was I saying? You have to sit and feel. Feel the bodily sensation, right? And you have to turn off all the noise, and feel it in your stomach, and it's gonna hurt. This is the most painful part. It might be indescribable or unrecognizable, so your job is not to describe or interpret. You just have to feel and let it pass. You have to really go deep in, and this is going to be extremely painful, especially if you've just had a traumatic event. While I was doing this, my body literally was doing like seizing up, because it was so painful and somatically tense, tightness, rigidity. Do it for as long as it takes to return back to baseline or, relaxation. When you do this, you are reconnecting and rewiring your nervous system. You're regulating your nervous system. When people say regulate nervous system, what the fuck does that mean? It's not like meditation. It's the power is in feeling your feelings, because you can't regulate unless you felt your feelings. And it's not like a label, like I identify it, so this is. You have to really dive into it, feel the body sensation, and let it pass. That is the key. That is also the key to mania. Because the feeling is excitement. The feeling is a bunch of energy. Do it for as long as it takes for your body to feel flowing again, not tense. This is where people cry, scream, hit things. And you can do this from anywhere. If you're stuck in bed, you don't have to get up and do the somatic shit. It'll help, but what helps is feeling your feelings, and feelings staying in your body rather than relying on anything else, relying on journaling, yoga. That stuff helps, but if you have been gone from your body for so long, you need to get back into it. Number 3, we rebuild the body. What is mood? What is a feeling? What is a sensation? If you break it down, a feeling is your nervous system outputting something. It is a sensation caused by the brain and gut connection, the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve and electromagnetic output. ATP, whatever. I think mania is like caused, or it's hypothesized that mania is caused by excessive glutamate or something. I don't know. You can find whatever. Every sect of human study describes it as something. Anyway, whatever. But it's just energy. Feeling is energy. So when you remove the interpretation and your personal identity from it, it's just energy. It's just electromagnetic signals. It's just signals in your body. If you think about it like that, you can easily sit and feel and let it dissipate. But even then, you can't be like, oh, well, it's just electromagnetic, and so I'm not gonna think about it. You have to feel it. It's energy. It has to go somewhere. If you feel it and let it calm down or come back up again, you have the biggest defense. 3, rebuilding the body. You have to make your body strong again. And able to, the stronger that your body is, this is a new routine. This is strength that you can use to regulate yourself, because, a body who has not eaten, slept well, exercised, right? It's just going to find it you're going to find it more harder to be present and have defenses against your day-to-day. Yeah, I know for me, working out, right? Or even just seeing the sunlight made me so much stronger, and it's so much easier to do all of this stuff to prep you for this new identity. A lot of the times when we are in a deep depression and then we want to suddenly change, this new flux of energy turns into mania. Why? Because our body hasn't caught up yet. Our body, the body that you haven't even eaten and slept in, or whatever it is unable to regulate and follow through with all this stuff. You want to go straight into a new identity of, I'm a changed person, I'm a strong person, I can write a book. I can't doubt that you can't write a book. But can you write a book while maintaining a baseline for yourself? Or do you need mania to follow through with things? What if you were able to catch your body up to how you mentally want to feel about yourself? And you were able to be present and regulate whatever came your way. Having a routine and something to rely on, it just makes it so much easier. I'm in between here and here right now. This is going to help you maintain attention. Attention, even if you have ADHD. And also, you don't have attention deficit, you just have misdirected attention. You could concentrate on whatever you cared about for hours, okay? So I'm going to go through it. 4, mental processing and identity. This is where your therapy comes in, right? It's much easier to do therapy and trauma work and all of this once you once you are able to regulate yourself, right? And you're strong, you feel strong enough to do it, right? Because if you go straight from depression to trauma work and what is actually wrong with you, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. This is why therapy doesn't work for a lot of people, because they don't want to do all this, because they don't know themselves. If you ask a lot of patients, right? Oh, how do you feel today? They don't fucking know. They have no clue. This is groundwork stuff. Mental processing and identity. Do this only when your body is strong and supported again. Start to think about your identity and change. This is where you can finally analyze yourself and start to look at your self-concept and what isn't and isn't serving you. Right? You're depressed because you're stuck in an environment, or you think you have no defense. You're not your true self. You think that you're deserving of all the wrong that is done to you. You've internalized all this beliefs. I'm a bad person. I don't deserve to live. Okay? You can't do this until you're back in your body and strong. Yeah. Manifestation works on these principles. Religion, whatever, works on these principles. But you're trying to be 5 steps ahead and you're not even in your body. You're not even present. You're living for other people. You want the same things that other people want, but what do you want? You have no idea. It doesn't really matter the origin of your depression and trauma so much as passing the feeling, in my opinion. Once the feelings have passed, think about what you would like. Your self-concept can be turned into, I am aligned. I have healthy self-esteem. I accept myself. Create an identity you would like to be and do it with compassion. If you try to force a self-concept like, I accept myself, but you're still feeling this, you're still feeling depressed, it's not going to work. Because why? You still feel this way, so you're going to interpret everything as being the same. You're going to still have the same thoughts associated with this mood. Number 5, clean up your life. Be honest about what you would lose or gain to be in your new identity. Is it dropping external approval, relying in the external world to determine your inner world? You have to be brutally honest about what isn't working for you. You're probably going to realize that your environment and circumstances have been extremely cruel, traumatic, and not what you desire. Right? Gabor Mate, I went to a speech the other day, was talking about mental illnesses are caused by abnormal reactions to abnormal circumstances, right? I don't doubt that you felt so much pressure throughout your life. You weren't properly socially supported. You may have had unmet needs as a child, or dealing with systemic stuff, poverty, racism, depression, continuous trauma. I'm not denying that. But you deserve to have the ultimate defense against that and win despite your circumstances. The greatest activism and reform you could do against these systems is believing yourself and fighting back and self-actualizing and becoming a pioneer for your community. If you can do it, so can anyone else in your community. The power doesn't rely on the systems and the people that are suppressing you, right? You're not going to reform the mental health system and the poor practice by, you have far more experience and knowledge, having lived experience, than someone who has 30 years of education in the same field, because you know what it's like to defeat the odds, to self-actualize despite all these things coming your way. Number 6. This is where you cut people out. This is where you are honest with what you've been allowing in your life. Maybe you've been a people pleaser. You need to cut that shit out. You need to have boundaries. You need to think about, if it's addiction, you're probably hanging around the same kinds of people. You are enabling yourself. You have to be honest. 6, follow and connect with intuition or the true self. What is intuition? Is it spiritual or is it gut feeling? Right? Inner knowing that something is or isn't right for you. And what is that? A body sensation. And it's not tied to spirit, right? You don't need to be connected to spirit to know what is good for you. Your body's all messed up right now because it's being disrupted by illness, by a perpetual mood state that isn't dealt with. It's disconnected. Your gut, your body is disconnected, so you don't know what's right for you. You don't know what you truly want, and that's making you depressed or whatever it is. Once you do all this stuff, follow and connect with your intuition or your true self and have courage. Have courage to be your true self. Because once you follow your true self, you're never going to lose. You're always going to feel happy and stable and fulfilled if you have the courage to be your honest and true self and your higher calling. 7, maintain. Right about here, people, circumstances, and events, this is where your adverse events happen. This is where your old self, your old mood state is going to try to pull you back because it just wants to run, it just wants to exist. It's just a state. If you've been living 20 years or whatever with a self-concept that's like, you don't deserve anything. I had a very harmful one. Mine was, you can't achieve anything. You can't do anything because of my ADHD in school, my struggle in school. That is a very dangerous belief to have. So, I'm fighting against a really mean one. A very mean self-concept. The ADHD isn't the problem, as I said. It's the interpretation, which is I can't do anything. What the fuck does that mean? I can't do what? I can't eat? I can't do all of this? So yeah, weird shit is gonna pop up that's gonna try to drag you back. Right? But you just have to maintain. Ignore. What happens if a new mood triggering event happens? Do nothing. Don't interpret. What if someone is abandoning you to your face? Just give me a second. Do nothing. Don't interpret, even though someone's triggering the hell out of you. Maybe your narcissistic partner is going, trying to control you. Get the fuck away from them. Sit and feel, let it dissipate. And you're no longer feeling that trigger, that mood state, so you're back to here. Strong, whole. I'm gonna make a part 2 because this is very extensive. Or should I just keep going? I'm wishing on a star to follow where you are, and wishing on a dream. How does your intuition protect you? It's because you're listening to your body, right? Millions of gut bacteria that can read situations before you even get there. You want to talk about the woo-woo stuff, metaphysics, blah, blah, blah. You want to talk about spiritual interconnectedness, that's what intuition is, but I'm trying to speak to everybody, okay? You don't need to believe all this spiritual stuff to know that intuition exists, and it's there to protect you. It's a body sensation. Okay, your body knows what's good for you. We're gonna dissect these steps based on the mental illness. Maybe I should pull up the DSM. Our favorite book. DSM, these nuts. I'm wishing on a star. Okay. The DSM. Do we like her? Do we not? Don't care. What's it called? Mental illness. Wait, shit. I'm gonna teach you how to apply this based on your mental illnesses. Okay. Okay, autism. We know a lot about that, don't we? What am I, autistic? Yes, very much so. Okay. So the autists go through a lot. I'm sorry, this isn't good language. What is it? This isn't professional language, but